Welcome back, my friends. Good morning or good evening. Yes, good morning, my friends. How are you guys doing? Good? Yes, love it. It's a bit darker, a bit lighter, too brighter. 1 second. Oh, yeah, it's better. It's better. All right, welcome back to episode number 66 of the day trading stream here. I hope you guys are all doing well. We're going to talk about gold today again. All right, not much news to deal with. Luckily, that's the good part. Not much news to deal with. So we're going to make sure that we guys are fully ready to rock and roll. What are our levels today? We are pretty much flat, right? We're pretty much flat in a range, but we'll make sure that we covered all those angles here. We have a couple of zones. We have a buying zone and a selling zone that we have to talk about today. So looking forward to that. In the meantime, who is in the chat with us today? Let me see. Kurt, welcome back. Good to see you. Ivy, good to see you. Mr. Rockstar, 1969. Master of Essence, good to see you. Heleno, NumFX. Ariel, good to see you. Cliff, Kazel. Who else do we have here? Very nice. Thank you very much. Nice. Yala. Yala. Dark Past. Good to see you, Tamo. All right, amazing, guys. Good to see you all. Welcome back to the Asian streams. Have to say, loving it so far. Let's make it happen, man. Let's have a good stream today. Let's go over the levels right now. We are not that far away from an interesting area. We'll most likely stay in the range. So we have to deal with the ranges today. But we'll cover that. We'll cover that in a second. Yeah? Let's make it happen, my friends. And let's turn it into a good stream. All right? Okay. Welcome back, my friends. Looking forward to talk about Goldie Gold today. Anyone who asks to put down the music gets an immediate ban from this channel, okay? Just gonna say this up front. Anyone who asks me to put the music down gets an immediate lifetime ban. No, I'm joking. Only for 30 minutes. You're getting a timeout, okay? You have to give your boy some time to warm up a little bit, to get into the flow, to get into the motion. You understand? It's very important. It's very important. It's part of the rituals. It's part of the process, okay? Thank you very much. Perfect. Let's talk about the markets, my friends. Good to see you. We have to go deeper and deeper into, gold right now. Look at where we are. We are back at the ranges. We have not been really doing much since yesterday. What did we talk about yesterday? Let's talk about the levels yesterday. Let's put them up first because we have some levels from yesterday to talk about, because we're looking at shorts, right? And longs as well. Not much has changed actually, to be honest. We had our major resistance for 2029. That has never been hit. Okay, then we had our other zone at 4205. Yes, the gold sells at 4205. And then, of course, gold buys at 4246, right? 4264, well, 4164, sorry. 4164, same level, pretty much. Okay, we still have this level right here open. We still have never been tested. The 4205 has been tested, as you guys already saw, right? We came up here around this area. I actually took a short later on. This is why I have the Telegram group, so you guys can keep you updated about my trading setups from the streams. But sometimes if I see something clear, yesterday I didn't really saw a lot of clear setups after that, to be honest, so I was more chilling. But we did tap into that 4205. We did came down around 160 pips. However, I did not take profit. I did not take profit. I let price come back all the way to my entry without taking profits, because I thought we would go to the 164. I really thought that we would go there potentially. And then we had the drive to potentially push into that level. But I think halfway through, we kind of came back up again. I think around the lows around here, we came back up. Eventually, if we held on, we would have come down, roughly speaking, to the TP. But yeah, man, that was yesterday. Very choppy overall. But the levels were pretty much correct. So that's good. So we keep accountable towards those levels. We have this major zone sitting right below there. That is a level that we still look at. Why do we look at the both sides of the tail? Because we're pretty much trading above a range, right? We broke above some range right here. So this is the range that we broke out of. We pulled, had that expansion, we had a retest, and we never failed to break the highs, but we also took out the lows. So we're kind of forming a new range. So what you want to do is you want to take out both of those lows, get into what we call a low volume node, which is sitting below. We'll probably reach an undervaluation as well. And we might see a reaction inside of this range, okay? The actual range itself, a little bit deeper inside of that range. And if we stay in the range today, or we're gonna keep in that, balanced session here, we might just see another impulse to the upside. So I prefer to trade those extremes in ranges, either the extremes up or the extremes down. This is something that we will look at. We don't have to really, to be honest, today we don't really have to overcomplicate it in terms of having to do a really deep analysis into everything. Because I think most of the work we already done yesterday, to be honest with you guys. The only thing that I would say is that, yes, we found support. Yes, we are in higher time frame demand. We're reacting from a higher time frame demand zone. This is all very, very clear, right? We have our drop, we have our base, and we have our rally, and we have our breakout moment right there, okay? And price is now kind of testing this range. You see that? This is kind of the range on the 12 hour that we're currently in. We are holding that support on the higher time frame, and we're kind of ranging now. We're testing it. So the chances of us potentially retesting that area, I think, is possible. But the trend itself, bearish. Look at that, super bearish. We have not been able to break structure even last week. We couldn't break structure. The FOMC dropped and pulled us back down. So we're still bearish, you know that? And we're still in the range. So we have to wait for a little bit of a breakout or, another expansion. We're now kind of operating a little bit in that fair value. So what I've done was, because we're in a downtrend, we have to swing high to the swing low right here. And because of that, we always look at the volume profile and we look at the value area of that swing. Now that value area of that swing is sitting right here. Okay, that has not been tested yet. So I did expect one more retest of that level round about that area to see either a drop right? And a continuation, or an actual retest and a breakout back into the range of the previous week. But we have not been able to even get there. We're just flat right now at the moment, okay? So I'm still anticipating a bounce potentially getting there, but I'm watching this range very carefully right now at the moment here. Another thing is the order flow. Let's go to the order flow right now at the moment. Let's look at the higher time frame. If you look at higher time frame candles, you can actually see now that we have a candle with 34,000 contracts right there, and we close below that. This is why we are facing resistance right now, right there. We could not break above that candle anymore, okay? So it is significant resistance that has been created yesterday inside of that range right there, okay? And we have to potentially pull back lower, potentially get down towards our areas of interest right there for us to say, hey, we might find some support again, okay? So we have to be a little bit more patient, waiting for price to come down a bit lower, in my opinion, for us to find some support. As long as we're in the range, we're in the range. And we look at the extremes of ranges, right? That is what we're looking at. Another huge area is that candle above 44,000 contracts. This is where a lot of buyers got trapped in their position. And that position is exactly that area, that selling zone higher. Yeah. Anything around the 4205 right now, in my opinion, the zone from yesterday, the selling zone, is kind of irrelevant at the moment. I really prefer to wait for price to get down, right? And to see if you can, if I can get into like a setup a little bit lower, and see if you have enough firepower to push at least back towards the range again. You know, pretty much like that. Pretty much back to the range again. So yeah, let's see if this is possible, and if you could actually get there. Reaction, if you can get the reaction that we want around this area. I've marked out the 64. Why did I mark out the 64? Because if you look at the order flow, we have a huge gap inside of this area. We have a high volume node, a low volume node, a high volume node, low volume node, and a high volume node. We want to actually put our entry in that low volume node, and we want to put our stop loss below the high volume node. That's kind of the idea. Okay, if you want to learn about the volume profile, then I highly recommend you to download my free book. It is in the description right here. You go to ltaconcepts.io, you click on the link, and then it leads you to this website. It should be working now. I received it. I did a test. You type in your email, and you click on get my free book right there, and you learn everything about the volume profile, about how to apply it properly, why I mark out those areas of interest from a volume standpoint, and how you can learn that too for free very easily by taking your time. Literally spend like an hour of your lifetime learning and reading through this volume profile. Chapter 1, volume is king. The volume profile, the weekly cycle, weekly, daily, fixed swing. You learn everything around it. Okay, all that makes sense. Perfect. All right, let's get to work. I would say let's get to work, and let's see where we are. Okay, let's see where you guys are at. There we go. Thank you. I was just going to ask about the book. Amazing. Yes, downtrend targeting 7640. To lost my Telegram contact. You need to make a new Telegram account, I guess, if you want to join here, okay? I think today, guys, is the 23rd, correct? Today is the 23rd. I think the Indians can join the Telegram group again. That's what I heard. I think the Indians are now officially allowed to join Telegram, if I'm not mistaken, right? Because Telegram was banned in India for a couple of days. That's what I heard. Anyways. What about yesterday's low volume node? Yesterday's low volume node inside of the range was there, right there, right? Yes. Yeah, that was already a zone that already is hit, and we're already pushing down. And that's exactly that area that we marked out. That's this zone right there, this candle. So it makes total sense. All right, I think we're almost there, no? We're almost in that area. 1 hour is pushing down into this. There we go. This is the level. The 79 on futures. 79 to 72 on futures. All the way down to this area. Loving the volume though. Are you in? No, I didn't set the buy limit yet because I had no time to set a buy limit, to be honest. So we're waiting this carefully. It's a lot of selling here, out of nowhere. A lot of volume, which is good. So let's see where this 15-minute closes in 6 minutes, and I think then we have an answer. I close above, I buy. If you close below, we need to wait a bit longer. So I'm gonna set a line right here. This is pretty much in the middle of this candle right now. It's around there. Gonna make this purple. If we close above that, I'm willing to buy. All right, we're in our low volume node right now. So it makes sense that we're seeing a reaction here. Are you talking about the footprint too in the book? No, the book is mainly focused on the candlestick analysis, so the order flow, the footprint, sorry, the volume profile, things like that. Yeah. Yeah, we want to see if we can close back above that. That would be my first buy in a long time. Oh no, I took a buy, sure, last week. But on stream? That's been a while. Closure above the 76, 67, sorry. Yeah, we might head all the way down to the point of control too. So I would be careful with buying now, especially if we close below immediately. And this candle closes below too. I don't see a really reason to get in aggressive, because we're trading a bit against the trend now. If we will buy here, which is no problem, by the way. I don't mind trading against the trend, but I do mind not waiting for confirmations. That's a big push. That's a big stress. That's a big impulse. Wow. Honestly, I did expect a bit of a stronger reaction there. So good that we didn't buy yet. Especially if you come down with a lot of volume and you break out here after the rejection and you take out the highs right there and you come out with force. You have to wait for confirmations and you want to see a reaction there before you get involved. But right now there is no sign. There is no sign to buy here. Any closure below, and we're gonna continue to drop actually. If we close below this 78, so we'll watch it. Let's see, was that the target that I had in mind last time? Yes. Stop loss was at 21. We never broke the highs, right? I don't think we never broke the 21. We never broke it. Any closure below here in like 30 seconds, in my opinion, sells or buys are invalidated completely. Right here. Because this is gonna hold price down immediately. This is a lot of volume. The hourly is gonna close too. In 15 minutes. Kojok, should we buy gold now? I would not recommend it. I would not personally recommend it right now. At least I am not interested in it. Because we came down with force. After taking out those highs, we came down with force. And we actually closed really badly. We didn't see... You want to see an impulse move, right? If you trade counter trend, you want to see an absorption. You don't see any absorption here. This is just straight up, boom, closure below. So this is... this, in my opinion, is no way that I'm not going to buy here. Especially after that closure right there. I don't see any reason to buy whatsoever. I actually want to trade the impulse short. In my opinion, when I see this much volume, I actually want to go with what I'm currently watching here. And that is simply just the impulse retracement inside of this area again. Because this just shows that gold is ready to rocket today. And break out of the balanced area that we talked about, the balanced range. So we have to wait for that pullback. That's it. Yeah. Yeah, I think any pullback makes the most sense now with this amount of volume. Because this is also always a thing that I look at right now is about how much volume comes in, like, and how do we close the candle. The volume is really the volume is really strong. And when the volume is super strong, because look at that, for 5.6 thousand contracts, right here on the 1 hour, that's really high. In comparison to other candles here, 5.6 thousand contracts is really high. It's a high amount of volume, especially in Asia, right? And if that's the case, you don't want to go against that. You don't want to trade against that. You don't want to trade against that. It's a lot of volume. So even though you might be sniping the bottom, right? If you're lucky, it's still not worth the risk to buy. What we wanted to see was reaction, absorption, bottom wick, sellers on the bottom, closure above. That's like the ideal. But we didn't see that, so let's scrape this overall initial thought process of buys in the retracement in the range, because the volume actually that came in actually kind of set the tone in my opinion for today's Asian session. So let's watch the other side. So we have the range, the actual manipulation as well. Here we have the pullback. This is going to be pretty high. Let's also take the previous daily. Yeah, we're below the point of control now, below the opening of the week now. Sunday open as well. Now things have definitely shifted here a little bit. Things have definitely shifted a little bit now. So let's set out the next zone here. Okay. Why does gold and the MES move together? How is that possible? Because it's all against risk on. You should put it in a basket. Risk on versus risk off. Risk on is risk off is dollar strong, oil strong, right? This is what you see right now in the dollar. And oil has been pushing up. We can saw the breakout here. Dollar as well has not been breaking trend ever since. Look at the dollar. So risk off right now. Still. Yeah, we're gonna mark out the retracement, I guess, for sells, continuation sells. There is no other level that I can see now that I actually like, except for continuation sells here of the swing. Let's see the volume profile. We have this one. I think that's the same as the retracement as well. Yeah. This is always going to be that interesting area for a lot of people. A lot of traders to focus on that. And the low and the very low is the most important already. The 64. Yeah, we really have to trade the expansion now because this is like a strong expansion that we're currently in. And I don't see this stopping right now, to be honest. I see this more or less being a continuation trade, I guess. If I look at the market right now, I can see the only way where I could find resistance already at the 75 already. Being super aggressive today, I guess. Why don't you trade continuation? Why are you so obsessed with pullbacks? The reason why is because stop loss placement and risk to reward. That's the main reason why. Like if I put my entry now here on the breakout again, it could be that it just continues to drop down, right? It could also then pull back. But most importantly, long term, my stop loss placement is going to be the most important because I need to have a level where I feel comfortable with, okay, if I'm invalidated, then I might be wrong about this setup or this direction. So then I'm going to put my stop loss there, for example, right? If I get into a pullback setup, I have a lot of room to risk more money. Number one, to put more risk on the table, to place my stop loss where it needs to be, instead of trying to enter now and then having the stop loss still there, because that doesn't change. And then my risk to reward is off, right? That's the main reason why I look at pullback setups always. And I like pullback trades the most anyways. It doesn't have to be large pullbacks. It doesn't have to be, a complete pullback to the top of the range, etc. It can be just retracement. But yeah, that's what we're watching right now. That's what I'm watching right now. This pullback there. Just need to mark out the right zone. Give me one moment. Yeah, I think around the sun there. It's probably going to be already around the that low volume node, I would say, is already something to watch. Inside of a large swing, this is what we look for. Just so you guys know, this is what we're looking for. We're looking for the gaps. You see that? This is on the 1 minute. We're now operating in a really large swing, right? So the move push down got extended. We're pretty bearish. Also, the higher time frame is showing that we have like a lot of resistance already around certain levels here. And also here around this area, a lot of resistance there, especially if you close bearish on the hourly candle. So that's gonna be resistance for sure. So what we're watching now is the 78 and the 50, the 74 and the 56. So we're 18-point difference. So that is 18 points. That's a 60 already. Yeah, okay, perfect. So we have two zones right here. Zone number 1. And zone number, yeah, but this is much higher. Zone number 2. Okay. Yeah, pretty much this area right here. Gonna be aggressive today. Aggressive session today. Wow, it's pretty impressive though. What this move did to actually with this amount of volume. We have to wait for pullbacks anyways. We're undervalued. We're most likely going to pull back here. So I'm just watching this. What's the step? The step is hourly candle closure, because this will confirm that this area is where the most volume took place. We're going to actually highlight the point of control here. Let me actually do this for you guys. POC. I'm going to make this white. I'm going to make it a bit thicker. There we go. So this is the area where the most volume was traded. And that's exactly the zone right there. Okay, around about that area right there, 84. We just need to pull back a bit because we're a bit overextended now, obviously. Can you put off the fan off behind you? Why are people so obsessed with my fan? Why are people obsessed with my music and my fan in the background? Let me get some fresh air, my man. Let me turn up the vibes. Like, come on, man. Let me breathe. Let me breathe. Please. Please, let me breathe. All right? MSPRKR9298. What I do, search what do I search for on TradingView to give me access to the indicator? I haven't been able to find it. You go to indicators, invite only, and then it should be there. Yeah, invite only and it should be here. Okay, wait. Before we enter, like I said, what was the rule? Hourly closure. We don't want to close this hourly candle above it. We really want to close below it. You see, you need to make pullbacks. You see now, we need to make pullbacks. And this is still a little bit underextended. Wait for confirmation. Wait for confirmation. We need to wait the hourly closure first. Hourly closure, 50 seconds. If you close below that, then we'll dive straight into this candle. Mm. 20 seconds. Oh wow, it's pulling back hard now. Before the closure, that's you don't want to see that. You want to close below it. Wow. You see, this is why trading the continuation in this case would not be a good idea. Immediately, you want to trade the pullbacks, right? Because, yeah, if you bought here, or sold there, sorry. Okay, we have the hourly closure now. All right. Let's fine tune this. Okay, I think it's good. Wow, barely though. Wow, look at that. Straight up inside of the point of control here. Okay. The VWAP at 90.89 as well. 89 minus 18 is 70. Okay, we have the hourly closure now. So now it's kind of confirmed. Hey bro, what's the red and green candle indicator? It's called the stealth valuation index, man. The stealth valuation index. Yes. Yeah, the fact that we have to go all the way to the lower time frame comes just from the fact that we're expanding so aggressively with a lot of volume. A lot of volume. Yeah, we have two levels. We have 1 and 2. just need to fit the right one here. Oh, sorry. Can you hear me now? Yes. Okay. Perfect. So we kind of went from a balanced range. We broke out of today's range. Expecting to, and now in the balanced area when you're ranging, you can buy and sell. Pretty straightforward, right? You can buy and you can sell because you're in a balanced session, and you could stay in that range forever. You know, we have seen periods this year so far with gold that gold is just in a range the whole week, right? And you don't want to only look for sells in a range because you can also look for really good buys in the same range as well. But right now we already broke out very hard, very aggressively. So when we break out of the balanced range, so we go from balanced to imbalanced, the only logical move is to continue to trade down, to trade with the trend, not against the trend, especially because the higher time frame trend is still bearish as well. Yeah, let's see what the dollar is doing as well. Dollar is, ooh, look at that. Dollar is acting like, it's acting strange. Very strange. Very choppy market behavior. Very choppy, very choppy. Look at that. Yeah, the dollar might already find support very soon. Now this could definitely be bearish for gold. Man, how close was that though? Like, damn. That was like 10 pips. Okay. Yeah, I have to update this today. Broke out of daily range. Bias changed. Moving from balanced to unbalanced. Preferably only trading with the trend. Preferably only trading with the trend today. Major levels to pay attention to in pullbacks are why didn't I not take a trade? I didn't get filled right here, right? I pretty much, it never came back to my entry here. So close though. So close. Could we have already tapped into a zone on futures? I don't think. Let me check. Let me confirm this. But I don't think so. No. Same. It would have been the same issue. I would have marked out the low volume node, which is this area. Would have been the same issue. Yeah. Very close though. Very close. But it would have been the same. Damn. Okay, now it just depends right now. Are we gonna break the lows here or not? That's pretty much the only question we have to ask ourselves now. We're gonna break the lows, or are we gonna hold the low and bounce again? You wouldn't take the trade if it came close and then you see it's headed to the direction you want? Nope. Not needed. Not needed. Either we get filled or we don't get filled, right? It's pretty straightforward. We don't have to chase the market. That's not really the problem. But yeah, sometimes it is still unfortunate, right? It is unfortunate if you don't get filled like that. Of course, I'm not gonna sit there and deny it, but like, it's still a really good level to watch. But right now I want to know, do we break the lows? Do we take out the lows? If so, then I think the gold has a much larger chance of just trying to go for the actual lows today. The actual lows here. Okay, pulling back into the month, higher time in the month again. And that we can work our way towards it. So any pullback is still relevant. Any pullback towards these areas, in my opinion, is super important to watch. Would you buy right now? I don't think so. I don't think so. No. No. Now, in this case, I would say just be patient, wait for the trend to develop and pull back or whatever. I would not buy now at the moment here because we're pretty much, the higher time frame is bearish already, right? Number one, higher time frame is bearish. So the higher time frame is still bearish. We could not break the highs with the FOMC. We flip bearish. So higher time frame is down. Now we create a range. We had a little, we had a little bounce here from higher time frame in the month, which is great. We had that support there. We had the support here and we broke out. But now we're really pulling back down. And if you really want to be bullish, then you want to hold this range and you want to see buyers step in here hard. You want to see buyers step in here aggressively with a strong wick, with a strong impulse move, maybe a manipulation down, but you immediately want to see a strong impulse move to the upside. If you don't see a strong impulse move to the upside, it just shows that sellers are super strong. Sellers are in control. And the last thing that I want to do is to trade against those sellers right now. So pretty much only look for sells in my opinion right now. So any pullback of ranges, larger ranges, any pullback of this area, we can keep extending as well the volume profile. If again we break the lows, look for these low volume nodes and keep trading it. Keep trying to look for the next big zone. Specific to the swing. Yeah. Yeah, we can definitely still make a pullback. This is what I'm saying, right? We were holding that support here. Look at that area. Lorenzo, I entered 4177. What should I target? I think you could be targeting the lows today. The previous daily lows. Especially if you close below the opponent control, which is the 5-7. Then I think we might have a chance to get there, yeah. In theory, now that we actually came up, we can actually try to put it a bit higher. Because if you would take out and we would come back up, the same level applies. That's the gap actually. Right there. Your limit order yesterday hit, I believe, sometimes at 3 a.m. So we did pull back after that drop. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what we did yesterday. That's why I keep you guys updated in the Telegram group, right? Because that was yesterday's stream. We were waiting for the pullback. Yeah, sometimes you have to be patient, right? But then, if you held onto that setup, by the way, no matter what, for life, then you would have been in... that would have been a big trade. That would have been a big one. 4205, stop loss at 4221. But most likely, target would have already been hit at the bottom, right? And you would not expect to push down immediately. But that was a big move, for sure. I think we... the the 4205 down to like this. Low is still around 300 pips. To the take profit, at least. So, yeah. Yeah, I have two sell orders sitting actually. One there, one there. I'm kind of observing now the valuation is already pushing up. I do like that. The low is holding, so it's pretty obvious that right now that we're finding a bit of support. So we might make a bit of a bigger pullback. When was the last time you lost? We're in a little bit of a run right now. Again, like I always say, we have losing streaks, but we also have winning streaks. Right now, we're a bit on a run right now. A winning run. My suggestion is to just pay attention to Telegram, because that's where you can find the updates. Yesterday I only posted once because there was not much really to post about except for that one setup. There was not really something to post about because we were just flat in the range. But yeah, that was pretty much for the rest. What is the name of the indicator? The name of the indicator is called the Stealth Valuation Index, but it's a private indicator that I created, okay? It's something that I created. I have been giving this away on the stream. Yes, and I've been giving it, of course, to the members in my private group, which is a small group that I host every month. Allow around 20 people a month in this group. It's very small. Why? Because it allows us to have the quality, to keep the quality high. And yeah, it's so much better if everyone trades the exact same. Trust me, if you are in a community, you want to trade the exact same. You don't want to have people that have 5 different strategies, and like, who are you going to learn from? Person A says this, person B says this, this person trades against that person trades against that person wins, that person loses. And you're in the middle and looking at all those people and you're like, oh, should I go for him? Should I follow him? Should I follow him? Ah, let me follow him. Oh, now he's losing. Oh, let me follow him. And you get into like a vicious loop, and it's all about ego. It's all about trying to become better than the other person. It's not gonna work. So you need a community with like strict rules, guidelines, and one system. The gold hybrid trading system. But anyways, we are closed. So my suggestion is, if you want to stay in touch with me, then follow my Telegram. And yeah, come on the live streams every day. And download my book. All of it is free. So that should already give you a lot of, a really nice framework. That should really set the right foundation for yourself, hopefully. Oh my G, Lorenzo, how do you keep yourself this calm, especially after big wins? Because after losing, we can gather ourselves, but after winning, and also in general, how are you so calm? Like any meditation or what? No meditation, that's for sure. No. I live on cortisol, my friend. I'm a, you know, straight up. putting pressure on myself every day. You gotta love the pressure. Get comfortable with the uncomfortable. No, man. I think there's no good answer to that. I think that just I don't know. Don't really feel much anymore. The system now is so super mechanical, right? So it's like, okay, if this, then that. If that, then that. If this, then that. You know, it's not like based around feelings anymore, like the system, the trading system itself. It's more built around, okay, this happened, then I'm going to do that. Oh, I'm wrong about this, then I'm going to do that. Okay. There's always like a plan B. But I tried the last 2 weeks to take your book, but I can't. Maybe try a different email, because I think, if I'm not mistaken, it should be good. Just have to be a little bit patient. I think I received it. Let me check. Can you guys try to get my book and let me know if it works? Yeah, let me know if it works. You might have to wait a couple minutes, but let me know. Why don't you ask to be a sponsor to some of the prop firms like others, Lucid, FundedNext? I work with FundedNext a little bit, but I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't need to sponsor any prop firms at the moment. I told them, actually, I got some offers. I was actually in conversation with a party, but I told them no. I actually was like, you know what? I don't need this promotion for now. I have my own things going on. I want to build my audience purely. I want to have like my Telegram group right now, my free Telegram. I want to build my own channels, you know? I just want to build my own channels at the moment. That's what I care about more than promotions of like prop firms and stuff. Yeah. I mean, there's nothing wrong with promotion, by the way, for prop firms. Like, I mean, if you support the channel and you like it and you would buy a challenge anyways, because you are trading prop firms, then why not supporting the person that helps you every day, or that is there for you every day? Like, there's nothing wrong with that in my opinion. But for me personally, it's not the right moment to promote things like that. You know? Now, it should be working, guys. It should be working, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. It should be working. It should be working. All right, we're over again a little bit, and we're already dropping. And we're pushing up. So we have a little bit of a bearish divergence on the lower time frame on the valuation index. I do like this overall. We are now already trying to push deeper into this area. Yeah, we're watching the zone very, very, very carefully. The 68 actually. Somewhere inside of that zone I want to enter. And this one right there. I will enter on futures, by the way, just so you know. It's next to it. Hi bro, is your Telegram the one with 1028 subs? No, my Telegram is this one right there. My Telegram is this one right there. 2400. Okay, 2400 subscribers. It's a brand new group, by the way, that we have built. Right? It's a brand new channel. We built it like in the 15th right now. Okay. So that is less than like a week ago, I guess, roughly speaking. So we have kind of this, yeah, roughly speaking, around a week, a couple days, I would say. However, there are groups out there that pretend to be us right now that have like, quote unquote, 10,000 subscribers or something like that. You know, look at this. So be careful with this type of stuff, guys, really. Look at that, 10,000, 13,000 subscribers. They use my logo. And they sell these like VIP promos and stuff, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's not me. That's an example. That's not me. It is pretty crazy, but yeah, it's the reality. But we will be bigger. We will become bigger than like all those fake groups out there. Just give me some time, man. Give me a bit of time. Wow, that rejection there is real, huh? Yeah, we held that support very well, actually. Wow, look at that. We never broke it. We never broke it, so That's why a deeper pullback is definitely possible. Getting towards this low. We also have this area right there. We have two zones that we have to really watch, that I think are really, really key here. Because this is usually pretty much a bigger pullback potential, or has some pullback potential, I would say. I think the dollar is still dropping, or is not looking stronger now at the moment. Yeah, also that the dollar dropped kind of hard, but we are already at support like we talked about. So we're already at that level right here. You see, we're already back at that level. So that's not really the problem. The dollar is not the issue here. There is no issue actually. Lorenzo, you're going to be at the Forex Expo in Dubai in September, or you have to do a little sparring session with you to meet you in Bali. Yo, come to Bali and we'll do a sparring session instead, man. Yeah, I'll probably not be at the Forex Expo in Dubai. Like, what do you even talk about there? What do you even do there? Like, what do you talk about? The thing about this is you need your own channels, your own this, your own companies, your own. So if you want to do it, do everything yourself. That's the best. Own it all. Yes. Yeah, and we're dropping again. Come on, G. Come on, man. The only reason to go to the Forex Expo, I guess, is just to meet other people that are other content creators, maybe. But I don't know if that's like that exciting. Why are we not buying here? The reason why I'm not buying here is because of the expansion of today. Yeah, that's the biggest reason why. Because I would love to see here in this area. I understand where we are. You want to see a much larger impulse back up immediately when you see a push down. If you don't see that, and the trend is bearish over on the higher time frame, and we clearly failed to even break above this resistance. Remember, we failed to break back above this area right there. Right? We never broke structure. We never really broke structure. We just came up to sweep the highs and reverse down. And logically, you would say on the higher time frame that the logical move right now will be to get down here again and to trade towards the lows. Okay, to trade towards those lows again. Now, the only reason why I wanted to buy initially was very simple, because we're pretty much ranging, right? And in ranges you can buy. You were trading above the previous daily, or you were trading above the point of control of the range. So we were actually holding support here, right? And we were like, okay, well, as long as we're there, we can buy and look for potential retracements and buy and stay in the range and trade the range. But now that we broke out of the range, it's all kind of setting ourselves up for either continuation or this is a huge manipulation. But if that's the case, then we'll figure that out very soon as well. And then we have to break the highs. If you then break the highs, you're most likely going to retest. And we're most likely going to come up to the swing point of control of this area right there, which is this level, which is this area. That level that we talked about beforehand, this level. Right, so then I would buy. If price would break structure, it would pull back, then I would buy until there. Which is like a 600 pip move. But even there, we could still continue to drive down. Because the overall trend is still bearish and we're still trading in a downtrend and the previous weekly range is sitting here. So we could easily just pull back and sell off again, right? So I would buy if it would come up and pull back. Maybe I'll take that squeeze up, but then I would be focused on sells again, right? If we break above that swing that we talked about, so we break above this area, we break above this this zone right there. Okay, so this level, we break above it and we actually do something like this. We break above, we pull back, and we break above it again. Yeah, then we're in the previous weekly range. We're in the value area of the previous week. If I'm not mistaken, we will be probably in the value area then. Yes, we will be in the value area of the previous week here. And if you are in the value area, you get accepted inside of the value area again of the previous week. There's a really big chance you're going to trade back towards the point of control, which is the red line, okay? And that is where we got rejected from last time, right there. You see that? That major sell. So that would be the next target, right? And then again, you could trade long on pullbacks towards the next zone, right? But then again, because we're still in that higher time frame resistance here and we're in a large range, we could still see the sell-off again. You know what I mean? So there are opportunities where in the downturn we can buy, right? That's what I'm trying to say. You can buy when you break out here and pull back. You can buy when you break out and get accepted inside of the value area of last week and pull back. You can buy. But there are critical levels where you have to be looking for sells unless we finally leave that exact range, okay? We leave this exact range completely and we break above this area, the FTMO area, the FOMC, the FOMC range, right? This range right there, the manipulation, and we close above that. Yeah, then we're setting up for a larger trend reversal, you know, back towards the highs, the 4,600, the 4,700. You know, that's when things really shift. But until then, yes, you can buy in the trend or against the trend, but there are only certain moments for it where it makes the most sense to buy counter trend, if that makes sense, right? So that would mean higher high, higher low, push it into that level, then we could sell. If you break above that, higher high, higher low, next level, then we could sell. If you break above that, probably a larger move, okay? You can start buying with more conviction and not just counter trend. But yeah. Why did I say FTMO? That's crazy. FOMC. Okay. Why did you stop streaming the US session? I love Asia. Even though we're not filled today, I love the Asian sessions. I really enjoy it. And also keep in mind, I live in Bali, right? I live in Bali for a long time. I've been streaming New York for 4 years, okay? Four years I've been streaming the New York session. And every time when I stream the New York session, it's at 8 p.m., 9 p.m. my time. So like 12 p.m., 1 p.m. Okay? And because of that, I go to bed super late every time, because after the stream, I'm full of energy. You know, I've been yapping for hours, full of energy. And then what? Then I have to go to bed, right? Then I realized, let me try the Asian session. I'm like, wow, I'm getting into like, in general, looking at the past, like right now, the last 2 weeks, I'm getting into some amazing setups here, like amazing trades, amazing setups. Okay? Like in comparison, I get into really good trades. I wake up in the morning, the first thing I do is streaming, and I'm done at 12 p.m. You know what I mean? So it's pretty much, it's kind of like a no-brainer to me. However, that does not mean that I will never stream the New York session, because I do love the New York sessions. But I'm currently testing the Asian sessions for a month and see how it goes. And if the results are significantly better, trading-wise, then it's a no-brainer for me to keep doing it for now. Yeah. We're pretty much flat in the range. Yeah. The thing is, we have not broken support, so we're kind of prepping. I hope to see something like this. The push, sorry. The head and shoulders inverted, and then the manipulation, and then whoop. The lows, the targeting of those lows of this area right there. We need to update the thumbnail. It still says New York session. Oh shit. I completely forgot about that, man. Yeah, you're right. The thumbnail says New York session. You're right, correct. Yeah. That's so true. You're correct. Why didn't I notice that? Yeah, you're right. Thank you for letting me know. I need to change this. That's hilarious. You guys are always keeping me sharp. Yeah. One moment, my friends. The market sampler says I received the book, search your inbox, trash, and spam folders. Okay, amazing, man. Yeah, it might be spammy, or it might be coming in your spam folder. I cannot really control that, by the way. I can't really control that at the moment. I don't know how to deal with the, spam, but just look in the spam folder, right? Yeah. $414.64. The other one is selling zone at 4,178. 2 levels. You know what I like to do when I see 2 zones that are pretty clear? I like to pretty much split my risk. Yeah. I would split my risk into two, because of the fact that the risk to reward is going to be on average then a 4-to-1. And I would split my risk pretty much. Yeah, that's something I would be looking for. Okay. In both cases, we want to target those lows though, right? We want to target the lows below. So yeah, that's something I would be willing to do, is to split my risk into two, pretty much. And see if I could get into the pullbacks and then still target the levels. There's definitely support here now. We cannot neglect that. We're kind of trading like a barcode right now on the 15-minute. Look at that. Just a barcode. Lorenzo, please tell what's the minimum amount required for living in Bali monthly wise. And it depends where you live. If you live by yourself and you don't really care, and you just want to like save as much money as possible, and you want to just build your business or whatever online, I would say maybe $2,000. 1,000. No, I would say $2,000 a month, to be honest, bro. Yeah. I would say $2,000 a month. Maybe 1,500, but I would say it depends how you live, right? If you want to have some good food and stuff, and if you want to go to like a good gym, you know, you don't want to like completely like be, you know, living off broad pretty much, right? I would say $2,000 a month. If you want to have a villa, okay, you want to have a villa like this, you want to have like, you know, a lot of things. You're going to spend a lot more than that. Yeah, so it depends what you prefer. You know what I mean? If you want to have a villa, you want to have an expensive girlfriend, then you know what I mean? Are you going to keep those zones open? Yes. I will actually share this in Telegram too. Right, so I kind of have an overview. Because these are the 2 zones that we're watching right now. We're watching 2 zones to potentially pull back into later on. To me, it seems definitely that the 4 hour is gonna, let's see where we close in 1 hour from now, but it doesn't look that particularly strong. We do have support. We knew that we had support a little bit, but it just doesn't look strong. I think the pullbacks are gonna show us something interesting. If in 1 hour we suddenly push up hard and we close above the 70s, so we close here in 1 hour, then I would be cautious with selling here. So let's say the next hourly candle, not this hourly candle, but the next hourly candle. So in 1 hour and 10 minutes from now, if you suddenly push up in between that and you close above, then I would not sell here. But this is why I have Telegram, to keep you updated. What type of girlfriend? An Eastern European. Why not trade the NQ? Man, I'm to be honest, I've been so super obsessed with gold that I've been losing track of the NQ lately, man. To be really honest with you, I have been not paying a lot of attention to the NQ lately. I don't know. Yeah. No, gold, man. I've been really, really obsessed with gold lately. Obsessed with gold. Yeah. Is Canggu, Semiakar the best places to move to Bali? Now, I would think about Canggu or Uluwatu. Uluwatu is, in my opinion, the best. Uluwatu has the nicest beaches. It's getting developed pretty well. It's probably the best place in Bali, I would say, still. Right? That's Bali the way Bali should be, right? It actually looks very nice. Very nice places. Very nice beaches. If you like the beaches. Lorenzo, bro, I need to pass my evaluation today. Fingers crossed. Good luck, man. Good luck, my friend. I wish you all the best. I hope you pass your challenge. Your evaluation, sorry. That would be amazing. That will be amazing, obviously. Very good. I hope you do. I hope you pass it, right? We have some guys in the group. I think a couple guys already received their payouts right now. Like I told you guys about the gold hybrid trading system, how we have our lecture set and everything that we do right now at the moment. So I'm very excited, of course, with this. We had pretty much everything done right now at the moment. We have done all the lectures, the sessions. Obviously, everything is recorded as well, but we do everything live beforehand. So you can watch maybe one episode back if you want to, and check it if you guys are interested. But it's some serious learning, serious learning. You get the PDF. You get pretty much everything that you need to know, all the data, everything that you need to know. And it's like 150 slides in total, or 200 slides almost in total. It's like a lot of work went into this, and yeah. We're still holding that support right now, right? Still holding that same level. Wow, if we break this already again. Regardless, we're going to keep these low limits open because it looks like a lot. But in the end, if you go in the 5 minute, you could see, we could definitely still see a larger pullback here. But if we lose this level again, and we want to go for those lows, then it gets a bit interesting because if we would break the lows now aggressively again, then this becomes really tough because of the fact that you will break back above the range after that, and then you could do something like this. Right, you could hold that support inside of this range again if you pull back, if you do something like that. So we're trying to really kind of avoid now breaking down too aggressively. So yeah, I'm thinking what to do here now, to be honest, because if we break down aggressively now, and we don't even properly like push back into any of our zones, which is not even that far away, then we have to kind of really think what we're going to do, because the range here itself is now breaking out again. Is that simply going to mean the pullback retracement? It could be, man. It could be. It could be, especially with the point of control here. Yeah, it definitely could be. We just had the hourly closure, right? Aha, okay. Yeah, you see? Wow, okay. Yeah, this changes it a little bit right now. The hourly candle closure has been done. This changes things a little bit. Can't believe I have to go down to the 1 minute today. Wow. Because now we have broken the lows here, so yeah, this changes it a bit. That means right now that we have to even go more deeper inside of the range, the current range. Yeah, okay. There is a chance that we have to move down our entry again. Wow, that's pretty wild. This can be done, removed for a second. This one can stay if needed, but this is the next zone now. Yeah. Yeah, wow. Yeah, wow. For sure, that's the next zone. Crazy. Yeah, because we're now dealing with this range, and inside of this range, we have been seeing this right here. So that simply means that we can enter on the pullback, and then the stop loss actually is pretty clear. It's just gonna be what we call a C, a E, an R, and a C play. Just simply the continuation, right? CERC. And this is something that we have in our book as well. In the trading war map, you go to page number 47. It looks like this. Okay. It looks exactly like that. And you can see this right now on the chart. Right here. You see that? Right here. It's the same exact pattern that we trade all the time. This is why we have the book, right? So you understand how it works. Why? This is 1, 2, 3, and then 4. And yeah, it's pretty much the same pattern right now. Pretty much the same setup. So yeah, we have to trade that setup. We'll trade that setup right there. This selling zone is still relevant. But I mean, right now at the moment, as long as those lows are not taken out, right? So we have the low here and we have the low there, back at the demand zone, right? So we have these two levels. We can actually mark out and set a level there. So we just have a level. We could do something like this and just mark out level 1, level 2 right there. These are your levels to target, okay? Well, yeah, I'm gonna set the limit order at least there now. Let's do this already. Wow. That's the Asian session in a nutshell. I no retracement, no proper pullbacks. If it goes, it goes. If it goes, it goes. That's clear. Okay, so that will be at 73. 73. Right there. And then right there. How can I buy that book? It's free. All right, last chance. I'm not, that's it. Last chance, limit order at this, for me at the 73 on futures, that is around the 55 on spot. Yeah. Low 1, weekly low, if I'm not mistaken, the weekly low, right? Yes. The weekly low and the previous weekly low. Previous weekly low. Yes. Okay. Lorenzo, is the new version of the book different than the original? Yes, it is different. It is different. It's more extended. Or more expanded, I could say. Yeah. (22 plus 18 is 40. Maybe no retracement. Yeah, I can't really control that, right? I'm looking for these pullback setups. We need to follow our strategy. And like, you know, some people look for, let's say, Fibonacci kind of retracements, and they trade the Fibonacci retracement. I personally like to use the volume profile and trade inside of low volume nodes or inside of the point of control. And trade specific patterns. And funny enough, a lot of times it does align though with like these Fib levels. So I sometimes check it on purpose to see like, is there similarity? But no, we use the volume profile. Because it just knows exactly where to enter. It sometimes it's shockingly accurate. Long here and hold for weeks, Relief says. If that's the case, I would take out the previous weekly lows first. If you want to hold and hold for weeks, I would take out the previous weekly lows first. And look for something here. But even that, we could even go lower. It's possible. But we're at the month, higher time frame in the month there. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna share this in Discord right now at the moment. Give me one moment. Or in the Telegram. Hey, good morning. Continuation pattern. Targeting second selling zone. Largest swing. 4167. Medium swing, sorry. Medium swing. Retracement. Targeting the previous weekly low. The weekly low and previous weekly low, sorry. Previous weekly low. Yeah. Counter trend reversal. So no proper retracement so far. Let's see what happens. Once lows are taken out, we should be thinking about short-term counter trend reversals instead. That's something that I'm willing to do. If these lows are taken, we're going to be back in that higher time frame, the month zone again. Then I will be willing to look for potential buys short-term. But for now, it's only selling until those two lows are taken out. Yeah. Stream. Asian stream update. Oh. Okay. If you want to follow up with this and you want to see what happens next as well, if we don't see any price action occurring in the next, let's say 30 minutes, 20 minutes, then you know where to find me, to follow me, okay? Yeah, this is very bearish. And the reason why I'm saying that it's bearish is because number one, the 4-hour candle is going to close in 46 minutes. If we close remotely below the 75 on futures, which is the 58. If we close below the 58 in the next hour, the next 45 minutes, we're most likely going to continue to drop lower. Okay, so that is for my biggest indication for today's bias, the London bias too. Okay, it's this 4-hour closure. The hourly closure is already clear. Let me look at the daily too. The daily is, oh man, look at the daily, please. Look at the daily footprint chart and then go to the tick size 20. Check that for a second. Yeah, no, the daily was already super clean. Look at the top, the point of control of the previous day right there, right? Yes. Is it 20? Yeah, look at that. That's super clean. Yeah. Why do I love Asia so much? I love Asia because it sets the tone of the day and it's very nice. You can find really good setups throughout either later sessions as well by understanding the Asian session very well. If you understand the Asian session, how it moved, then it's so much easier to trade in London and New York. Have you guys noticed that? Imagine you wake up and you only trade the New York session and you didn't really pay attention to the rest of the day. And you look back, you're like, okay, yeah. But if you experience Asia, then you have that foundation, man. That foundation for the rest of the day. You have the daily open, the development of the daily candle. It's a different vibe. Also for the rest of the day. But moves like these, like when was the last time New York session had a move as clean as that, right? In terms of like expansion. No crazy manipulation in between. Straight up. Marcus says, would you please tell the order from the footprint, volume footprint, where do you get them? It's called the Xau charts. Okay. It is called Xau charts. Yeah. The Xau charts. Okay. All right. To be honest, guys, I think that we're just going to wait for this to pull back at some point. If the weekly lows are taken out, there's still a reason for price to come back. We'll probably see an impulse move back up. If the previous weekly lows are taken out, right, that's when you should really invalidate sells. Because if you target the previous weekly lows already, there's nothing really to target anymore, right, for the day. If you say the previous weekly lows are already taken out, for example, right? So it's important that you cancel the sells if these lows are taken, right? Specifically the previous weekly low. Why the previous weekly low specifically? Because if you go here to the higher time frame and you go to the 12-hour time frame and you go to the previous weekly low, which is this level right here, okay, then you're going to tap into a demand zone right there. Okay, you're going to tap into that demand zone right there on the higher time frame immediately. You see that? That drop, that base, that rally, right? So this is strong support for gold right now. Yes, we're in a downtrend, but this is strong higher time frame support that you have to watch. And if you take out the previous weekly lows, you're going to tap into higher time frame demand. You're going to tap into the daily demand zone. And that's something that you have to watch, because if that bounces aggressively, then there could be an impulse move to the upside, which is going to be bigger than our retracement, okay? Then our little retracement back to these lows. So let's hope that those previous weekly lows are not taken out, and then we actually see a proper retracement into our areas. We went from there to there to there. So we have to just kind of wait and see if we could pull back into it. Now that the weekly lows are taken out here, you want to see the impulse move back to the downside. So what's going to happen now? This 4-hour candle is going to close really bearish. At some point in time, we will have to potentially pull back towards the 75, which is the 58. The 55 to 58 on a spot. And then we'll look for something like this, which allows us to get back towards this zone. But we really don't want price to get to the 22, which is then much lower. Honestly, if we get there, I prefer to buy. Or I prefer to wait for a buy confirmation. And if we, let's say, do this, right? This is another layer. If we would now come back down that, and we would tap into the previous weekly low and we'd start ranging here, and we would do something like this, an impulse move up, then I would trade the retracement of that. And I would potentially look for buys. Okay? And that is purely the higher time frame context that we just talked about. The higher time frame support, higher time frame demand. That comes to fruition then. But that's only if we would have a strong impulse up after taking out the previous weekly lows, and we then would pull back. So we take out the lows of the previous week. We would start the range. We then have a squeeze up with volume, a push up, a strong push up. I would take the trade on the retracement long, but that will be the final case, right? In case we don't get back to our selling zone around this range right here, the previous expansion, and then targeting that first. That is the ideal now, pulling back and then going from there. But the moment we are there, this becomes less relevant in the short term, especially for today. Okay. Pretty nasty, pretty nasty overall. Can you please make a video explaining how the indicator works? I can do that. Yes, I can do that. But you know, the problem is, don't people have access to this? So the problem is that I make a video about something that people don't have access to. And I'm not really here to sell you anything. So yeah. Absolutely. Hey Lorenzo, will you teach the order flow trading like an actual system? We already are doing this right now in the gold hybrid trading system. We already are doing this right now at the moment. Okay. So yeah, we are already doing this. Okay. We already have the sessions, the roadmap, the live trading floor where we execute, where we do everything inside of already. We have pretty much all the slides, 200 slides, 12 lectures, live trading streams, trade examples, using order flow. Everything is already in there. And the trading community that is already killing it right now. Look at that. How nice is that? On the 19th of June. Beautiful. So it's already working. We're just closed right now. And our next open is going to be, I think, at the end of this month. Maybe the beginning of next month. Something like that. But for you, I would recommend you to just watch the live streams for free. Get into the Telegram so you can watch my daily trading updates where we pretty much show all our setups right now. Okay. Including video updates too. All right. And download my free book and watch the live streams for free. I think that's a good trifecta to work with. What do you think? Okay. Okay. Yeah, I think that's it for today, guys. Around a 2-hour session. I think it's pretty clear what we need to do and what we need to wait for, right? There are no questions, hopefully, in the chat. If so, ask me later. Maybe on Instagram, send me a message. But right now, I would say impulse back up or not. We need to pull back, especially after this closure. Hopefully, we do. Gain that trust back. Get into our area of interest. Sell off. and target the previous weekly lows. If we get to the previous weekly lows and we create a large impulse move up, that is the only scenario where I would think about buying on the pullback, okay? And look for the push back towards the highs. But then I would cancel my sell limit, okay, for now. If we really reach this zone, I would cancel my sell limit. And I would wait for, I would pretty much wait for the expansion. Then I would trade the retracement. I would use the swing profile over the low to the high, look for the retracement, and then look for the long, and then target this area. And then I'll watch what happens there instead, right? But that's the only way. The previous weekly low need to be taken out now in order for me to think even about buys, to even consider buys. Because the market is red. It's bearish. It's really nasty. And there is a lot more volume traded to the downside as well. A lot more sellers are in the market than buyers. And I don't see buyers anywhere. Okay? So, sells until the lows are taken. And maybe then, after a large impulse move, buys. But that's the only criteria for buys. For the rest, it is all about sells. It's all about selling. Yeah? Okay, I shared it in the Telegram group. I will keep you updated as well in case something changes or updates. Watch this. Okay, and if you like these type of things and you want me to post more videos as well, like this one. This was a good example where we did a full breakdown and analysis. Okay, today is Friday. We're over every resistance actually. And we talked about, quote unquote, this area. Look at that. That was the selling zone. And these videos I make all the time now, or I can make all the time if you guys want that. Okay. And that resulted into this beauty. Really clean. Really nice. Love it. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Love our selling zones right now at the moment, okay? So, yeah. Okay, thank you guys. You guys are fully updated for today, hopefully. Right, you have the London session. You have the New York session. We don't have a lot of news. You know what to do. And to prepare for the rest of the day. Yeah, would love to get into the trade, but I mean, we have our setups ready, and you know what to do in both scenarios. All right? So, yeah. All right. I'm going to see you guys tomorrow again on the stream at the same time, the Asian session. All right? If you guys like these videos, these streams, then please smash up the like button. It'll be appreciated. And, you know, stay in touch with me. And see what happens again. And we'll go from there. Okay? Love it. Let me see where we're bid in the chat. Let me actually thank some guys that are here watching. M2M Forex, man. I see you. Chris, I see you. Is Esteban, Ariel, Sensory. Vincent, Walk of Faith. A lot of new people as well. Love that. Lucifer, hey, what's up, brother? Bradley, I love you, man. Take care. Okay, awesome, guys. Have a great rest of your day, yeah? And let's trade the next coming hours and be patient. You know exactly what to look for. And keep you updated in Telegram. Okay. See you tomorrow.